Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're looking at something, well, really foundational from the ancient world, identity law, specifically from Deuteronomy.
Yeah, and our mission for you today is to unpack how these old laws didn't just regulate behavior, they actually forged a people's identity.
And why some of those core ideas, maybe surprisingly, still echo today. We're focusing on Deuteronomy 14, some really distinct commands there.
Right, thinking about ancient Israel as this theocratic nation,
Yeah.
governed by God directly.
And it's people called holy, God's chosen.
Or Sanam, a holy people. It's
Yeah.
this idea that their status, their relationship with God came first.
Okay, let's unpack that because it's a key shift, isn't it?
Definitely.
You look at earlier laws, maybe Exodus, Leviticus, often the vibe is obey these rules so that you become God's people.
Or, obey so you don't face the consequences. It feels a bit conditional.
Right, like if you do this, then you'll be mine.
But Deuteronomy, this is where it gets really interesting. It flips that. The message is more like, obey these laws because you already are God's chosen, because you're holy.
So identity comes first.
Exactly. Your identity dictates your actions, not the other way around. It's like being part of a special family. You act the part because you belong to the family, not to earn your way in.
That's a huge difference. You see it with the Sabbath, right?
Oh, absolutely.
In Exodus, the reason given is God's creation rest. Cosmic.
Right. But in Deuteronomy, it's tied directly to their history. It says, remember, you were slaves in Egypt, and the Lord your God brought you out. Therefore, observe the Sabbath. God gave them rest.
So the command flows from who they are, a people freed by God. Their shared story.
Precisely. And that established identity shapes everything else, especially these specific rules in chapter 14. It's all about setting them apart.
Okay, like the mourning customs, Deuteronomy 14, verse 1. Forbidding things like cutting yourselves or shaving the front of your heads for the dead.
Yeah, and we know now, especially from discoveries back in 1928 at Ugarit, that these were pretty common Canaanite practices. Rituals for the dead, maybe involving self-harm.
And the reason Deuteronomy gives for banning it.
It's incredibly simple and powerful. You are the children of the Lord your God.
That's it. Your identity forbids it.
Exactly. Your unique relationship means you don't do what the nations around you do. You're distinct.
And this distinction carries right into, well, what they ate or didn't eat.
Right. So the basic clean and unclean animal rules, they're mostly consistent with Leviticus, cloven hoof, chewing the cud, fins and scales.
Yeah.
That stuff.
But Deuteronomy 14.21 adds something specific, kind of curious.
The animal that dies of itself, like you find it dead on the road.
God's holy people shouldn't eat that.
But, and here's the interesting part, you could give it or sell it to a foreigner, an alien living among you.
Okay, so wait, is that like a double standard? Or
Yeah, it sounds like it at first, but it's not really about hygiene, is it? If it were unsafe, nobody should eat it.
Good point. So what's the deal then?
It's presented as a mark of distinction. Another boundary marker for the covenant people. Foreigners were welcome, respected, but they weren't under the specific terms of this covenant. So that particular food rule didn't apply to them in the same way. It reinforces Israel's unique status.
Got it. A visible sign of their special relationship. And then there's that really strange one at the end of the same verse.
Ah, yes. You shall not boil a young goat in its mother's milk.
Which is not in Leviticus either. What's that about? Seems oddly specific.
Well, scholars have a couple of main ideas here. One points back to Ugarit again. There's evidence suggesting this might have been linked to a Canaanite fertility ritual.
Fertility, how?
The thinking is maybe they used the source of life, the mother's milk, in a ritual sacrifice of new life, the kid, to magically ensure abundance, like good crops or herds.
Wow, okay. And God saying no part of that.
Exactly. Rejecting practices seen as, well, cruel, pagan, maybe detestable. The other view is that it's just fundamentally unnatural, violating a basic order of creation, using nurture for destruction.
Sort of inherently wrong, disrespectful to life itself.
Yeah. Either way, the core message seems to be God's holy people must reject these worldly, cruel, or life-disrespecting practices, especially if the motive is just chasing prosperity through, dubious means.
So bringing it all together, what's the big takeaway for you listening?
It keeps coming back to this central theme in Deuteronomy, doesn't it? Your identity as God's holy people comes first. That identity is what shapes your behavior, your choices, how you live differently from the world around you. It sets the standard.
Right. Who you are dictates what you do, not the other way around.
And that principle, it's still incredibly relevant for us, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, we're not following those specific dietary laws today. Thankfully, I enjoy my shellfish.
Oh, me too. But the underlying idea that holds, in Christian understanding, we're already God's spiritual holy people through Christ.
Yeah, the New Testament uses similar language. A royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession.
Or connecting back in Korean, Ojonera, Jonyono, Yoyonyo, Yerkengemino. That identity is a gift.
So maybe here's the thought to wrestle with. If your identity as one of God's holy people is already secure, already given, how does knowing who you are actually change your daily choices, from the small stuff to the big decisions?
Does that reality, that identity, motivate you more to live by God's ways, even when they clash with the world's ways? Something to think about.